Hey, what's up, Roxstars? It's Rox, and I am coming to you today with the review for Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 10, Episode 6. So, you guys already know how this damn video is about to be. Anybody that's been watching me for a long time already know my opinion on the episode last night. We gonna talk about it, though. And yes, your eyes are not playing tricks on you. I did put a orange rinse over my hair last night. I just was like, you know what? I just wanted to be a little bit oranger. So, y'all, these braces make my mouth crooked. I gotta have a discussion with my orthodontist. She keep on telling me that that's gonna go away eventually, but it gets on my nerves every time I edit the video. I know y'all see it as a little stroked it a little bit. Yeah, I know I ain't spent $5,000 on no damn braces for the shit to be crooked. Now, y'all gonna have to do something. But anyway, they tell me it'll get fixed. I'm so fucking sick of these braces. Anyway, you guys, the review, let's get to it, shall we? Alright, so the show started where it ended last week, which was with the argument between Nene and Porsha. Okay, you know Nene. I started this shit, bitch. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be able to sit in that chair, bitch. You fucked Kandi over, bitch. She had your back, bitch, with your lying ass. I got Kandi's back, bitch. But we good. The door is closed. The door is closed. I was just like, okay. Can't be too many more of these bitches. Like, Nene, why are you doing all of this? Okay, Sheree says she feels bad because it was her trip, and obviously Porsha feels ganged up on. I think that she has, I mean, yes, she should. The fact that everybody left with Nene just gave me this whole Mean Girls vibe. You guys know I don't like that. But you guys know Kandi because she is passive aggressive and she never really fights her own battles. She likes for other people to do it for her. You know, she's all good with what just happened. You know it's not cool for me to say this, but I am kind of glad that somebody else has drama with Porsha. I guess me and Nene have more in common than we normally do. Look. Nene had an audience. She ate that shit up. She's going on and on about Porsha not admitting to her faults. What about the faults that Nene has? Okay, I have a problem with everybody being so hypocritical when it comes to Porsha. That's fine. You can put Porsha on the cross for the shit that she's done, but everybody on the show has done something. And Nene has had her fair share of issues with everybody on the show, like Porsha said. And that's the problem that I have with these girls. It's like they can all get over the issues that they have with each other, except for the shit that they have with Porsha. You know, out of all them girls on there, Kandi is the only one who really should have the feelings that she does. Other than that, all the rest of that shit is trivial. And it was a long time ago. And supposedly they had buried the hatchet on a lot of the issues. But you know, of course, as soon as something comes up like this, then they all bring it back to the table. And that is the problem that I have. That whole time that Nene was talking to all them girls, you know, and they all had to co-sign on how terrible Porsha is, I just rolled my eyes the entire scene. Because Nene knows what she's doing. Bitch, I know you. I got your damn number. So that ends the night. Okay, Kandi was just like, we left before we even got our food. You know, always hungry. The next day, the girls get together for a trolley ride. Nene quotes Cardi B. Okay, if I see you and I don't speak, that means I don't fuck with you good. Okay, just don't say nothing. Sit over there and be quiet. But you know Nene can't do that. I just want to get through the day with no more drama with Porsha. Okay, so Marlo asked Kenya, how is Kenya? And, you know, Kenya is not her normally, you know, upbeat and, you know, high-spirited self because of her grandmother. You know, she shows in the video that they're going to show at the funeral. You know, she does have a little bit of down about her. You can tell that Kenya is not her normal self. But she's grateful for the girl. She says that in the past she's felt like they've been against her. Now she feels like they're very supportive of her. So good. While she's talking to them, though, Porsha gets emotional and she gets up and leaves. And they all sort of like, well, what's wrong with her? Okay, Kandi, well, I guess she got emotional for some reason. You know, I just, anyway. Because Cynthia is a regular human being and really the one that does not let all of the shadiness, you know, kind of get in the way of her regular real life thinking. She goes and finds out what's wrong with Porsha. And, you know, Porsha was just like, I mean, you know, Kenya talking about what's going on with her grandmother. You know, Porsha had an uncle who passed recently. But just the fact that I think Porsha was feeling like, you know, everybody can always just kind of rally around somebody other than Porsha. They fight that girl all the time. And I know it's so many of you guys who who just can't stand Porsha so much that you're not willing to see that they do extra for Porsha. I'm not sure if it's jealousy or if it's envy. Okay, if they think that she's a child, if they think that she's dumb. I'm not quite sure why they do it, but I just don't know how you can't see that they treat her differently. So Cynthia was just like, look, as far as everything that happened with Nene, I know exactly how you feel because she did the same thing to me. And they showed the clip when Nene said what she said as well. And Cynthia was just like, basically, she just had to forgive it and she had to move on. I said, that's right, bitch, move on, but don't forget. I think that's what made Cynthia grow up on the show and realize that Nene is always for Nene first. And then her friends come in, you know, after that. And I was glad that she did say that because I was just like, okay, yeah, Cynthia, Nene has actually put a whole bunch of people's jobs on the line at some point. So, you know, Cynthia was able to just kind of meet her halfway and was just like, I know how you feel, but you just gonna have to give Nene some time, and you know, because you guys just keep on hitting heads. But my problem with that is like, why do we always have to bow down to Nene? I don't give a fuck if she started the show. It's not her show. She ain't the fucking producer on the show. She didn't hire me. She obviously can't fire me. So why is it that everybody has to tiptoe around Nene? But I guess if you're trying to have a peaceful time on the show, then that's what you would do. And that's what Cynthia has decided to do. But, so annoying. Anyway, they figure out that they're going to split up the group. Half of the girls are going to go to Fisherman's Wharf and the other half is going to go to Chinatown. So we got Porsha, her and Marlo and Sheree. They get off in Chinatown. You know, Porsha, I feel like I am in Chinatown. I get off at a trolley and I'm in Tokyo. Tokyo's in Japan, but okay, all in Asia. So we get Cynthia, Nene, Kenya, Kandi. They go to Fisherman's Wharf. Nene is busy at it, child. Now they talking about Sheree's husband and the fact that Nene knew him first, you know, that he was a con artist and that he conned somebody out of $4 million. Didn't con her. She too smart for that. But he did con somebody out of $4 million back in the day, and she ain't never forgot that. You know, Kandi was just like, I hope she don't get conned out of Chateau Sheree. Kenya was like, no, that's because that's in her mama name. That's not her place. Little bit of shade. I guess it's the truth, though. But again, y'all talking about this girl's relationship, you know, in a... It's just hard to feel like you guys are trying to be supportive and that you're just being more gossipy. I mean, even friends that are supportive of other friends do this kind of talk, but it don't feel the same when you have this group of girls. Now, you jump over to Marlo, Sheree, and Porsha. They're saying how they feel bad for Kenya and, you know, they want to do something special for her. So they come up with this mock wedding. Since none of them were invited to the wedding, they're going to have a wedding for her for all the girls to be at. Okay, so I'm just sitting there thinking to myself like, this is gonna be a mess. Kenya is not really in the best mood right now. I didn't think it was gonna go over well. Okay, why you guys would try to, you know, pinpoint Kenya when you know her grandmother died and she's under all this stress with this marriage and you guys already kind of, you know, side-eyeing the whole thing. Like, even that didn't feel fun and genuine, not to me. But they decide that they're going to do that. Marlo calls Nene and tells her, you know, the plans. And should we tell Cynthia? Nah, girl, let's not tell Cynthia. Okay, let's just surprise her as well. Okay, that Nene, ooh, she a mess. So later on that evening, they're back at the hotel. Cynthia and Kenya get dressed. They're going to all go out and supposedly going to this gay bar. So them two get together ahead of time looking like the Bobsey twins. I was like, girl, y'all going to get talked about with these outfits and these hairdos exactly the same. But they didn't. In the meantime, the rest of the girls are downstairs and they trying to get everything together for this wedding. Okay, Marlo comes in and says, oh yeah, girl, we got Mark coming. And everybody was like, you did? And she was just like, yep, he's coming. Turns out Mark is a cardboard piece of paper. Okay, with a question mark where the head would be. And, you know, they all get a kick out of it, still not really sure exactly how Kenya might react. I was like, the one saving grace with Kenya is she is pretty easygoing, and she usually can go with the flow. That was my one. I was hoping, like, okay, hopefully Kenya can take all of this in stride and be fine with it. So they call Cynthia and tell them to come on down. They down in a conference room in the hotel, and it goes well. Okay, and only because Kenya is who she is. You gotta love Kenya for that. She's willing to have a good time, because we already saw with what happened with the divorce party that she gave, how that shit could go left real fast. Okay, so she was a good sport. Okay, they gave her the veil, they gave her the flowers, you know, Nene was officiating, you know, Porsha was the husband, you know, they put the ring on the finger. It was all very cute. You know, Kandi, here comes the bride, here comes the bride, here comes the bride. So afterwards, Porsha, because there's all this tension with Kandi, she finally pulls her to the side. I know you're not really feeling me right now. I wanted to take the time to apologize. I know that it was a situation where you felt hurt. Kandi making all these faces like, I just want to have a good time with the group and leave it at that. I'm okay with that. You're going to have to be okay with it. As far as the situation with Porsha and Phaedra and Kandi, I mean, what else can the girl do? Now, she has apologized. She has said it directly to Kandi. The words came out of her mouth, okay? I don't expect Kandi to rush to be her friend to even forgive her. Take all the time that you need. But I don't know if I feel like Porsha needs to try to kiss Kandi's ass any longer, all right? Just, you said it. Let the girl get over it in her time and in her space. Now, moving on. The next day, they go to Napa Valley. And shout out to my Roxstars up Northern California. You guys know that a lot of the vineyards were burned down in the fires up there. So I don't even know if this place that they went is even still there. But, yeah, the girls get all dressed, and wasn't they sharp? I'm telling you, I'd be so proud of how they look. With the exception of Sheree. They be so fucking sharp, that Marlo. For all of the mess that she can muster, oh, she just be so fucking sharp. It's hard to hate on Marlo, y'all. So, anyway, they get together. They gonna get on this train. It's a train ride. They riding up to the vineyard. Okay, so now it's small talk. You got Kenya, Kandi, and Porsha sitting together. And then you got Nene, Marlo, Cynthia, and who else? And Sheree sitting at the other, you know, together. And so, of course, it's uncomfortable. First, Kandi and them are really not trying to talk to Porsha. But we finally break the ice. Still shade, talking about, you know, Porsha being a juicy vegan. But, you know, Porsha didn't get offended. You know, she laughed. She just wants to get past this moment, you can tell. Right at the very next table, though, Marlo brings up Sheree's man and wants to know who she's seeing. And, you know, Sheree just, again, running off at the mouth about her man being in jail. You know, Nene said he was tricking. She was like, no, he wasn't tricking. Whatever that means. I was like, is he on the whole stroll? Like, what the fuck you mean tricking? But she said it was securities fraud. I was like, another Apollo, child. They don't make no other kind out here. You know, Sheree is telling them everything. And I was like, girl, these ain't the girls that tell you shit, because they do not have your back. But while they talking, they call Kandi over to the table with them. And this is the problem that I have with Kandi when I say that the girls are hypocritical. I just want Kandi to be the same way that she is all the way around. Now, if you're going to have an attitude with Porsha, have the attitude with Porsha. Again, nobody expects you to have rushed to be her friend again. But the fact that you kind of sort of try to make shit comfortable when Porsha's around, but then immediately go and sit with the other girls and just sort of was just like, well, I just told her that I'm trying to be, you know, cordial. You know, just kind of making faces and make it seem like, well, I don't really feel it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it feels like you being two-faced, okay? I need you to say the same shit that you say, which is, I got an attitude with you, Porsha. Okay, just let me figure it out on my own, and then tell the girls the same thing. I got an attitude with Porsha. Let me figure it out on my own. So she is sort of saying that, but it doesn't feel like she really wants to do it. and she only tries to appease Porsha when she talks to her, and then she goes back and just be like, I ain't gonna never be her friend. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? So that's the part that gets on my nerves with Kandi. It makes me feel like she is, you know, that's why everybody says that she's passive aggressive, because she is. I need you to be the same all the time. While Kandi is over there talking to them right at the next table, like, you know, Porsha and Kenya can't hear them. They start talking, and Kenya tries to tell Porsha that, you know, she feels like Porsha doesn't listen when people are trying to be good friends to her and just give her good advice. I just wish, again, that people would remember the reason why everybody is the way that they are on the show. The same way you didn't want to bring your husband around because you know they have given you grief in the past about your relationship is the same way that Porsha has a wall that's built up. Okay? It's like nobody can just really come to terms and realize that, well, we're the reasons why everybody is the way that they are. All right, so I was so frustrated because I was like, as bad and as sharp and as, you know, much money these girls have, and, you know, I'm here for the shade and everything, lightweight, but this kind of shit gets on my nerves, for real. But Porsha still, again, you know, she kind of accepts that, like, okay, you right, you know, I could do better with that. Okay, again, she just wants to get past it. Anyway, long story short, you guys, they get to the vineyard. They got the, you know, the man that's taking them on the tour. He's very fabulous, you know, and we start the trip off by, you know, having Porsha open the bottle with the sword. Okay, and I was like, okay, Porsha, now this is gonna make or break the trip. Okay, let's start it off on a good note. She's able to hit it off perfectly. You know, they have their champagne, and so I was like, okay, we good. They go and step on the grapes because that's how they used to do it back in the day. You guys watch I Love Lucy, y'all know that's my all-time favorite show ever made in life. Okay, y'all remember the episode when they was in Italy and Lucy was going around soaking up Laco collar, like Ricky said. Anyway, y'all remember she was smashing the grapes and got into the fight. One of the best episodes of I Love Lucy. Definitely a classic, y'all. I love that show. Anyway, they go through that, you know, Marlo, okay, giving fellatio to the strand of grapes that the man had. You know, they all laughed and had a good time. Even there, though, it felt like Nene, because she couldn't be like kind of the center of it, just seemed like she was just off. I was just like, oh, I'm so over it. Later on, after they leave, you know, the tour that the man gives them, Kenya has to leave. She says that the trip was good for her. Again, she feels like the girls are in her corner. The rest of them, though, go to dinner at this wine cellar. And while they're down in the wine cellar, surprise, surprise, they have a bottle of wine from John Legend's, you know, his brand that he has. I said, oh, random much. And then we get started on Kenya's nuptials. Yeah, see, they talk about Kenya when she's not around. Okay, Kandi said while she was in New York doing her, you know, cover for Essence magazine, that she and Todd had gone by Mark's restaurant, but she didn't go in because she didn't want Kenya to kill her. But she still has a problem, just like, and why is Cynthia so okay with it? Because you're supposed to be her best friend, okay, and why don't you know? I swear I don't understand why these girls even care. They are genuinely upset about the fact that they was not invited to this wedding. Did Nene invite Kenya to the wedding? I specifically remember she purposely did not invite her. Okay, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. So they start up, Marlo talk about, let's have a game. Which one of you guys really believe that she's married and in love? And Cynthia was just like, you know what? I can't with y'all. And she gets up and walks out because she was just like, I don't want to hear shit else about Kenya's marriage. Nene was just like, see what I told you. You know, if Kenya says jump, then Cynthia says how high. Much like when Cynthia was the yapping lapdog to Nene. I was just so through. So, you know, Cynthia's whole thing is she knows this can work out one of two ways. Either she is going to have to tell Kenya what happened at this table once Kenya was gone, or she's going to have to sit there silently and kind of look like a co-signer. So instead, let me get my ass up and not listen to none of it. That way I don't know what the fuck you guys was talking about. Okay, but they, of course, oh, what's wrong with her? Why is she getting up? Why is she so emotional? I was just like, oh, Lord. So, you know, Nene comes after her. Why you get up and why you leave? I said, Nene, no, we've been watching this fucking show for 10 years now. We know how the game goes. Stop it. You know, and Cynthia was just like, I don't feel like talking about Kenya's marriage anymore. Yes, I was hurt that I wasn't involved in the wedding, but for whatever reason, she decided not to involve any of us, and I have to respect that. Until she can figure out, what, you know, when she want everybody to meet him, then that's what I'm going to have to respect. Okay? Again, I don't know why that's so hard for anybody to understand, but whatever. Anyway, Nene is able to get Cynthia to come back to the table. And even then, they kind of make it seem like, well, you know, Marlo says, maybe, you know, Cynthia's hurt as well because, you know, she wasn't involved. Now, all of a sudden, they got to feel sorry for Cynthia because she wasn't involved in her best friend's wedding. Are they really, truly best friends or just on this show? Oh, God, you guys, I was so disgusted with everything. I was just like... But y'all, I guess Real Housewives of Atlanta would not be Real Housewives of Atlanta without all this bullshit. Alright, you guys, that's it. Let me get off of here. Make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. The channel is for itsrox. Everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. Alright. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. I plan on doing the same. Till next time, Roxstars. Bye.